Hey everyone, how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the 2026 Mazda 3 Carbon Edition. As with all of my reviews, I'm going to cover all of the ins and outs and take this thing on a thorough drive. Of course, there's a whole lot of stuff to cover, so without further ado, let's go ahead and start her up and let her run. Debuting in 2003, the Mazda 3 has grown to become Mazda's best-selling vehicle worldwide, with over 6 million units sold. The current generation was first launched for the 2019 model year, where it was met with widespread acclaim, standing out not only for its refined driving dynamics, but also for being the first production model to adopt a matured Kodo design language, which sought to embody the essence of Japanese aesthetics. As a fan-focused brand, Mazda has always prioritized connecting with its customers, listening to their needs, and delivering features and experiences that feel essential to everyday life. Through its driving philosophy, the Mazda 3 is designed to provide a sense of oneness between the car and driver, creating a premium driving experience that's both engaging and uplifting, reflecting Mazda's ongoing mission to elevate the brand and its vehicles. The 2026 Mazda 3 continues this legacy and is offered in both sedan and hatchback body styles. The hatchback in particular is offered in 6 trims. Naturally aspirated trims include the 2.5S, Select Sport, Preferred, Carbon Edition, and Premium, while at the top end, the 2.5 Turbo Premium Plus delivers more power, standard all-wheel drive, exclusive styling details, and the most standard equipment. The Premium trim is the one to consider if you're specifically looking for a manual transmission. Base pricing, including destination, ranges between $26,785 and $39,125. The Carbon Edition stands out with its exclusive polymetal gray exterior, paired with a red leather interior. Mazda's further evolved Kodo design is further expressed here. While the sedan applies it to the hood, cabin, and trunk to convey elegance and calm sophistication, the hatchback is meant to be sportier and more emotional, featuring aggressive body size and C-pillars that eliminate traditional lines in favor of constantly shifting reflections. Its roofline suggests speed and a powerful presence, while the polymetal gray paint fuses the hard appearance of metal with the characteristic sheen of polycarbonate, creating a completely new expression of quality. Inside, the Carbon Edition shares many features from the Premium trim, including wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, HD radio, wireless phone charging, gloss black heated door mirrors, and black 18-inch alloy wheels, while adding standard all-wheel drive for improved performance in varying conditions. On this example, the only additional option is illuminated door sills, bringing the MSRP to $33,765. By comparison, the 2.5S Premium, which comes exclusively with a manual transmission and front-wheel drive, is less than $100 more than the Carbon Edition. It includes a premium 12-speaker Bose audio system and can also be had in the Carbon Edition's colors. Therefore, if a manual transmission is your priority over all-wheel drive, the Premium trim is the logical choice. In addition to functional accessories like floor liners, protectors, and cargo organizers, you can further upgrade the appearance of the car with a la carte body parts such as a rear spoiler, front air dam, and side sill extensions. On the Carbon Edition, the appearance package retails for $1,900 and includes all of the pieces, giving the hatchback a noticeably more aggressive stance that perfectly complements its sportier and more emotional design language. Of course, it's not equipped on this example. Now, despite being out for a while now, the current gen Mazda 3 offers a unique place in its segment for its quality interior, range of performance options, and a more driver-oriented feel. The hatchback's closest competitors include the Honda Civic hatchback, Subaru Impreza, Toyota Corolla hatchback, and the Volkswagen Golf. Depending on the trim, Mazda 3s come with either 16 by 6.5 inch alloy wheels with 205/60 tires or 18 by 7 inch alloys with 215/45 tires. The Carbon Edition features exclusive 18-inch 5 split-spoke gloss black wheels. All trims are equipped with all-season tires, and a temporary spare is conveniently stored beneath the trunk floor. Braking is handled by 4-wheel disc brakes, with ventilated fronts and solid rears paired to single-piston calipers. Front disc size measures 11 inches on front-wheel drive models and increases to 11.6 inches on all-wheel drive, while the rear discs remain 10.4 inches across the board. The braking system also includes ABS with electronic brake force distribution and brake assist, along with an electronic parking brake, controlled via a center console switch. In practice, the brakes feel predictably strong and linear, with firm initial bite and smooth modulation that inspires confidence during emergency stops or spirited driving. Mazda's focus on driver-car connection extends through the chassis, suspension, and steering. The front suspension uses McPherson struts, while the rear relies on a specially developed torsion beam setup with twin-tube dampers, updated spherical bushings, and refined geometry to deliver linear, lag-free responses. Steering is an electric power-assisted rack and pinion setup with a 15.6:1 overall ratio, 2.9 turns lock-to-lock, and a 37.4-foot turning circle. On the road, the steering feels direct and communicative, giving clear feedback without feeling twitchy, and the suspension strikes a balance between sporty control and ride comfort, soaking up rough pavement while keeping body motions composed during cornering. In the Carbon Edition, Mazda's evolved eye-active all-wheel drive system is standard, adding 4-wheel vertical load detection and working in concert with G Vectoring Control Plus to precisely manage torque distribution between front and rear wheels. This makes the car feel confident and poised in nearly all driving conditions, whether pushing through twisty back roads or handling slick or uneven surfaces. The driving position and seat design reinforce this connection, aligning the body to the natural S-shaped curve of the spine, so movements of the car feel intuitive and harmonious. Altogether, the Mazda 3 delivers a balanced, engaging experience. Brakes that inspire confidence, steering that communicates every nuance of the road, handling that feels agile yet controlled, and a ride that's firm enough to encourage spirited driving but comfortable enough for daily use. Every component from the wheels and suspension to the all-wheel drive system is calibrated to reinforce Mazda's driving philosophy, the feeling of oneness between driver and car, making even mundane drives feel connected and purposeful. On top of all that, the Carbon Edition's leather-wrapped steering wheel feels exceptional in your hands. Subtle grips at 10 and 2 o'clock make spirited driving more secure, and all of your essential controls are easily reachable on the upper spokes. The instrument cluster is another highlight. It maintains a classic 3-dial layout for the tachometer, speedometer, engine temperature, and fuel level, while the center section is digital, giving you a touch of modern tech. Using a simple button on the steering wheel, you can switch between drive information, driver assistance readouts, or a traditional full-size speedometer needle, combining old-school charm with contemporary convenience in a way that feels intentional, refined, and perfectly in tune with the Mazda 3's driver-focused ethos. The Carbon Edition is powered by Mazda's naturally aspirated 2.5-liter Skyactiv G 4-cylinder engine, a refined and responsive power plant that balances performance, efficiency, and reliability. It produces 186 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 186 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 RPM, allowing the hatchback to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles an hour in roughly 7.5 seconds, with a top speed limited to 127 miles per hour. The engine is built with an aluminum block and head, features dual overhead cams with 4 valves per cylinder, and employs variable valve timing for optimized performance across the rev range. Fuel is delivered through advanced direct injection paired with a 13:1 compression ratio, and the red line sits at 6,500 RPM, giving the engine a lively, willing character that rewards smooth inputs as well as more spirited driving. For the Carbon Edition, the drivetrain comes exclusively as a 6-speed, electronically controlled automatic, paired with Mazda's i-Active all-wheel drive system, making it the only naturally aspirated Mazda 3 to offer all-wheel drive. This positioning makes the Carbon Edition one of the most affordable all-wheel drive options in the compact segment, providing confident handling in varying weather and road conditions. While a 6-speed manual transmission is available with the naturally aspirated engine, it's exclusive to the premium trim, which only comes in front-wheel drive, meaning all-wheel drive enthusiasts don't have the choice of a manual. But the automatic does a commendable job of keeping the engine in its optimal power band, particularly when sport mode is engaged. While there are no paddle shifters, the transmission allows manual input by nudging the shifter to the side while in drive and moving it forward or backward, giving the driver some engagement without sacrificing convenience. Overall, the automatic strikes a fine balance between performance and practicality, offering more refinement and engagement than the CVTs found in many competitors at this price point. In terms of fuel economy, the Carbon Edition is rated at 25 miles per gallon city and 34 miles per gallon highway, with my week of driving yielding a combined average of about 28 miles per gallon. Front-wheel drive models are slightly more efficient, typically achieving a combined average of 29 miles per gallon. With the premium's manual transmission and front-wheel drive, fuel economy mirrors that of the Carbon Edition. Fuel tank capacity is 13.2 gallons for front-wheel drive and slightly smaller at 12.7 gallons for all-wheel drive, giving the car respectable driving range for daily commuting or weekend road trips. While enthusiasts like myself would wish for a manual all-wheel drive option, the current setup remains one of the most refined, enjoyable, and affordable ways to get into an all-wheel drive compact hatchback without compromising comfort, fuel economy, or everyday usability. Compared with many rivals that rely on CVTs or lower-tuned engines, the Mazda 3's drivetrain feels more connected, more predictable, and ultimately more rewarding to drive. If you're looking to crank up the excitement, the turbo model of the Mazda 3 hatchback is where the fun really begins. It's powered by a 2.5-liter Skyactiv G turbocharged engine that produces 227 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque on regular 87-octane fuel and up to 250 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque on 93-octane, giving it substantially more low-end punch than the naturally aspirated version. The extra power helps the Mazda 3 deliver a 0 to 60 time in the mid 5-second range. The turbo model's automatic transmission also includes paddle shifters, giving you a more hands-on feel when driving aggressively. The front seat area of the Mazda 3 hatchback starts with a cockpit design that's refreshingly simple and straightforward, almost old school in how driver-focused it feels. You get large, clear instrumentation, a no-nonsense infotainment system that avoids clutter, and simple, logically placed climate controls that you can operate without taking your eyes off the road. The ergonomics are friendly. Everything you need falls naturally to hand, and nothing feels overwhelming. From there, the Carbon Edition builds on that strong foundation with standard perforated red leather upholstery, heated front seats, and a noticeably elevated level of refinement. Space is generous for a compact hatch, with about 42.3 inches of legroom and 37.5 inches of headroom. And the driving position is easy to fine-tune thanks to a full-power driver's seat with two-way power lumbar, while the front passenger gets a manually adjustable seat, which is typical in this class. A manually adjustable tilt and telescoping steering column, along with adjustable headrests and height-adjustable front seat belts, makes it easy for drivers of all sizes to settle into a confident posture. The seats themselves carry Mazda's trademark firm but supportive shaping. They hold you in place during spirited driving, but remain comfortable on longer trips. Materials throughout the cabin feel richer than what you normally find at this price point, and the clean, driver-centric layout keeps the shifter, infotainment knob, and climate controls exactly where they should be. There's plenty of padding on the door panels, dashboard, and center console, highlighted by red accent stitching. Storage space is also plentiful. There's wide lower door bins, a generous glove box, overhead sunglasses storage, a pop-out cup holding on the left side of the dash, and a center console that incorporates a wireless phone charger, 2 cup holders, and USB charging ports. When it comes to tech, the Mazda Connect infotainment system features an 8.8-inch center display, along with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, HD radio, satellite radio, Bluetooth, 2 USB-C inputs, and more. The standard Mazda Harmonic Acoustics audio system consists of 8 speakers and uniquely allows significant adjustments of the sound quality. You can choose between simple bass and treble adjustments or a vast equalizer, so more experienced audiophiles can dial things in exactly how they'd like. Overall, the audio system sounds nice, but some extra power on the low end would be appreciated. As I mentioned, the premium trim adds a 12-speaker Bose system, which really dials things up a notch. The infotainment display is not touchscreen capable, which may surprise some. It's operated by a rotary controller and button stack on the center console, a highly tactile and intuitive way to interact with the interface. The rotary dial can be rotated left or right to scroll, pressed down to select, and tipped forward, backward, or side to side to access specific shortcuts. For example, tipping the dial rearward from the main menu instantly brings up Apple CarPlay, while the buttons to the right handle volume adjustment and a programmable favorite function, keeping essential controls within easy reach while reducing driver distraction. The interface is straightforward, with clear graphics, simple menu structures, and smooth animations, all designed to minimize complexity and allow drivers to focus on the road. Mazda Connected Services is complimentary for 1 year, with the ability to monitor the vehicle remotely through the My Mazda app, and includes in-car Wi-Fi hotspot capability. Mazda's climate control approach favors usability. Instead of burying temperature settings and a touchscreen, or the infotainment system for that matter, you have analog climate controls which are simple, precise, and easy to operate by feel, making adjustments intuitive while driving. Dual-zone climate controls are standard on the Carbon Edition, along with 3-stage heated front seats. Additionally, if you're looking at the Turbo Premium Plus trim, you get a larger 10.25-inch infotainment display that adds touchscreen functionality when paired to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, which both also have wireless connectivity. A heated steering wheel is added, along with a frameless auto-dim rearview mirror with HomeLink and Mazda Online navigation. The Mazda 3 comes generously equipped with a robust suite of standard Eye Active Sense driver assistance and safety features. This includes Mazda radar cruise control with stop and go, smart brake support, lane departure warning, lane keep assist, driver attention alert, high beam control, blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic alert, vehicle exit warning, and rear seat alert. A rear view camera is also included. Moving up from the entry trim, you get rain-sensing windshield wipers and Alexa built-in, which enables hands-free voice commands for vehicle functions such as climate and audio controls, as well as control of most compatible smart home devices while on the road. With the Preferred and Carbon Edition, the most significant additions are side mirrors that tilt down when the vehicle is in reverse to improve ground visibility. The Premium includes even more stuff, such as a full-color windshield projected active driving display, an adaptive front lighting system, traffic sign recognition, and signature LED headlights and taillights. If that wasn't enough, stepping up to the Turbo Premium Plus adds cruising and traffic support, an evolution of traffic jam assist, a 360-degree view monitor with front and rear parking sensors, smart brake support reverse, and smart brake support rear crossing. When it comes to airbags, you have dual front airbags, front and rear side impact airbags, driver and passenger knee airbags, and side impact curtain airbags to the front and rear. The rear seat in the Mazda 3 hatchback feels exactly like you'd expect from a compact car that's trying to punch above its weight. Space is workable for 2 adults, a bit tight for 3, and noticeably more comfortable in the outboard seats than the center. Legroom lands around 35 inches and headroom hovers in the mid-36 range, so most passengers fit fine for everyday trips, though taller riders might want to do a quick test fit. Being 5 foot 10 inches, I didn't have much issue climbing inside. My legs did rest within the cutout of the front seat, but I didn't feel pinched. The front seat could have been slid forward a tad if needed. I also had a bit of headroom left over. With the Carbon Edition, you'll find a fold-down center armrest with cup holders, door pockets that can handle medium bottles, and 1 seat back pocket. Overhead, there's a single light and dual grab handles with coat hooks. The door panels have soft touch points with accent stitching, continuing the premium look. There are no rear console air vents or USB charging ports. For families, the latch anchors in the outboard positions are easy enough to access. The top tether points are clearly marked, and most child seats install cleanly as long as you stick to the outer spots. The center is there if you need it, but it's narrow and not as friendly. Overall, if you prioritize flexible cargo space, a well-finished cabin, and a back seat that works well for 2 adults or a pair of child seats, the hatchback is the more versatile choice. If you routinely haul taller adult passengers, the sedan may offer a touch more breathing room, but not enough in my opinion to outweigh the hatch's everyday usefulness for most people. The trunk in the Mazda 3 hatchback is really what gives the car its everyday versatility, because even though it's still a compact vehicle, the space is shaped and laid out in a way that makes it far more usable than you'd expect. With the rear seats upright, you're working with about 20.1 cubic feet of cargo room, and that's enough to handle grocery runs, a couple of carry-on suitcases, backpacks, or weekend gear without having to stack things awkwardly. Fold the 60-40 split rear seats flat, and the space opens up to roughly 47.1 cubic feet, which essentially turns the Mazda 3 into a small hauler. You can lay out flat pack furniture, slide in longer boxes, pack bulky camping equipment, or even fit a bike with the front wheel removed. This is where the hatchback really separates itself from the sedan, which only offers around 13.2 cubic feet in its traditional trunk. The hatchback, on the other hand, gets you a tall, wide liftgate opening and a low load floor, so tall, wide, and awkwardly shaped items slide in with far less maneuvering. In practice, the hatch's cargo space feels bigger than the numbers suggest because it's boxier, more open, and easier to load from every angle. Underneath the trunk floor is where you'll find a temporary spare tire along with various roadside assistance gear. Aside from the removable privacy cover, the only other amenity back here is a single light on the left side panel. It's a simple space, but effective. Well everyone, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please don't forget to leave a like down below because it really helps the videos a lot. And if you haven't subscribed already, consider doing that as well and make sure those notifications are on. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.